Hey guys, good morning. It's actually not morning. I don't know why I say that. It's afternoon. Um, I have not made a video for several days. Um, don't know why. Just was not feeling it. um, I have a lot of days where I have depression, and a lot of other people that I know do too. And sometimes you pick your battles for your day. You just kind of like wake up and you pray that God will give you something to make you go. And so the last probably week or so, I haven't like put any makeup on except for Alex's birthday. I did, um, and my anniversary, but I haven't put makeup on or anything. I haven't felt like it. I haven't. I've had good productive days. I've been organizing our finances and trying to get things because when I got really sick to where I was like not functional most days, I Bruce took over the finances, and it wasn't something that he was used to doing. So it got out of he's lost track of it, and it was just kind of a mess. And so he has some of his business stuff, and then I have the house stuff, and then he has business, invoices to put in and all this kind of stuff. And he was trying to do all of these different things, and it was all too much for him to do. So we made a decision. We kind of sat down. We said, okay, for January, for 2020, we're going to make some changes and whatever. And so we made a decision that I was going to do all paperwork and stuff. So I'm going to go in there and do all of the receipts and do all of the QuickBooks stuff and learn all of that stuff. And he's like, well, let me get the let me get the stuff from 2019 done though, because he's kind of embarrassed because he doesn't know where everything is. He doesn't even know where he's put his receipts and stuff. But I'm just gonna just go in there and he doesn't know what he's put in and what he hasn't put in, and so it's kind of a mess. And um, he works really really hard. He really does. He just isn't a consistent. He's not one of those wake up at the same time, have your coffee, do this, do that person. And he has to do that. He has to become that person. He has to, but he has to do it on his own. I can't make him. You can't change people. They have to work towards it themselves. But he has to, for all of the businesses that we have here. He has to get organized. He has to get to the point where he gets up and he's got a to-do list and he's got his calendar and he's focused and gets everything done so that we can make income, and the money goes in, and it's all kept track of and that sort of thing. So that may be part of the reason that I didn't put makeup and didn't have like really happy days, because that kind of stuff is always draining on me and stressful and overwhelming. Um, I there are a lot of times that I sleep in my closet, but what I call my fibro room, or my my room, that like if I can't sleep or I hurt or whatever, I go to my closet and I'll sleep on the bed that's in there. It's a big closet, so it has a full size bed in it. And so I've been sleeping in our bedroom with him, because I've been sleeping, although I'm taking so much medicine and NyQuil to fall asleep. That's the only way I can get to sleep, because I've had insomnia my entire life, and so I've battled that my entire life. Our entire married life has been my sleep problems. And so so I got to the point where I was able to sleep and everything, but then I would get up in the morning at like 8. I'd, see my little picture clock, my photo thing would turn on and start, doing its thing at 8. And so then I would, usually that is when I do my prayers and stuff like that, start my stretching and all of that kind of stuff. But when when he's in there and he's zonked out and you can't do it, so you just kind of lay there and you're like, oh, I guess I just need to like get out of here or whatever. And so it wasn't working to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll go, because I always get up to go to the restroom like at 5 in the morning when the roosters go off. And what I think I'll do is I'll go to my closet then. And that way I can wake up and I can do my stretching and I can do my prayers and all of that kind of stuff. And I can get dressed right away before I even come out of the room and, hit the bathroom, get that stuff done. And then whatever. But I did tell him, I said, you have to get up at an earlier time because, if I get up and I've done my stretching and my prayers and everything, and it all takes time to do. So, I may not walk out of that room for an hour. Sometimes he sleeps in more than he should because he stays up like a night owl. He's a band guy, and so I'm like, you got to get that more organized, somehow, because you have to somehow we've got to get a schedule here because it just feels like willy-nilly. Life is just willy-nilly all the time. And, there's a lot going on here because we've got the birds, we've got the garden, we've got the businesses, we've got the house, we've got, the boys' houses and kids and, and everybody's everybody's really good. My oldest son lives in one of our houses and he's, I love him and he does his thing and we just leave him alone. And then Justin's in the other house and he's taking care of that for us. And, he feels like he's not, Justin feels like he's not getting to, he feels like he's living off of us. And I'm like, no, you're really not. You're really doing us a favor, because that house is still fully furnished and we don't have the time and the energy. I know, I don't want you on my lap. I'm sorry. You smell like TT. Greta's not. Hold on. Okay. Had to pick up Greta. A blanket to put on my lap so that I could hold him because he's getting worse, but he's still, he's just his paralysis in his back legs. I mean, he still has function of them, but not much function of them. So anyway, but you got to pick him up when he wants to be picked up because we may not have him very long. So, right? You say hi? Say hi. Yeah. Yeah. Sweet boy. Anyway, where was I? So we're trying to get organized. We're trying to get the house and everything organized. And it's so funny. Everything gets messier before it gets organized, before it gets better. It's like you have to go through things. And so everything just kind of gets messy before it gets better, which is overwhelming. And then that can depress you too. And this morning I woke up and I missed my mom. And I just miss my mom. I don't miss the mom after the midlife crisis mom. I missed the mom before. I missed the mom who loved her kids and loved her husband and loved her home and loved her garden and loved her, fish tank outside. And I think I'm going to tear up. I miss that mom. I miss the mom who was happy. Who, would go with me to thrift stores and we would have lunch and all that kind of stuff. I miss that mom. I don't miss the mom after the midlife crisis thing, and who was crying all the time and who was upset and blaming everybody. And I don't miss that mom, but I miss my mom. I was real close to my mom. So, but I've missed my mom, when she was here. I missed her for like 10 years that she was here. I mean, she was here, but it wasn't her. So I've missed her for a really long time. But, anyway, so yeah, so we're trying to get things, organized here. So I moved some things around, and let me just take a break so you don't have to watch me see me crying all the time. Hold on. Okay, let's give this another try. So I moved my desk into the living room next to my other computer so I could work on everything without having to go to two separate places. And I have an office, but it has, I have an office that's got like a bookshelf but it has dog kennels in it. And, Gracie's just not trained well enough to not have a dog kennel. And so, it's funny. It's so funny that, sometimes your life can get a little overwhelmed with the animals, because they have quirky personalities or, special needs. And, what do? My dad was the type of person who's like, the cat can't walk, just put it down. Get a 22. Not my thing. No, thank you. I will hang on to that animal and let it live its life out for its life. And we love it until it's gone. We had a little failure to thrive bird in our bathroom named Spark, and I had him on some of the other previous videos, and we knew that he would pass eventually because he was very special needs. And he started getting sick 2 days before he passed. And when he passed, it was hard on both of us because he was in the bathroom. He had his little heat lamp on him, and you'd go to the bathroom, brush teeth, take a shower, whatever, and he'd talk to you. And so that was hard. I need to do necropsy on him, which will be hard, and find out what all was going on. But he will be one that will be good for me to learn. And so it's important that I do the necropsy on him because I learn based on symptoms of, it's kind of like the cat. I look at the cat and, and I Google information and whatever. And now I wouldn't do a necropsy on a cat, but I have had, this cat has had 2 other siblings, and so I know some of the symptoms of different things, and so I kind of know what to do and what not to do, and when it's time to take him to the vet and when it's not time to take him to the vet. When the vet's just going to say there ain't nothing you can do. I know when that, I know that when that's coming, and Greta right now is just, he does better with me than at the vet. We don't want to, what I always hated was when we took an animal in and then they were like, I'm sorry, the animal passed. And you're like, I missed that time with my animal, So anyway, so we got our we got all of our citrus from our tree, and so we juiced it and have a bunch of jars of juice. If anybody wants some juice, let me know. I can put it in my tea and stuff, and I think Bruce went and got some more from my brother's house. So we'll juice that too. So if anybody wants some fresh lemon juice, we'll have that. We have probably about 5 of them right now in the back refrigerator. And I can freeze it, so they don't go bad, but I have to put them in plastic containers or I don't know, something like that to freeze it. And then you have the space in the freezer and all that kind of stuff. Oh, you're drooling on me. Okay. Anyway, so so we're getting some things organized, and Bruce has really worked hard on the stuff outside to make it really easy for him to work on the birds. And we sold 5 roosters to the feed store, so our rooster count is down, which is good, and we have some more that we probably should sell, but they're not causing any problems. They're just kind of walking around, and some of them get along really well, so you don't really need to send them off. And Rocky probably needs to go. I ticked Rocky off, and he ain't gonna forgive me. So he's like attacking the cage when I walk by. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get eaten. So but yeah, so the past few days have been very busy, but I looked like a hag in my sweatpants or pajama pants and hair up in a knot or whatever, and not necessarily in the greatest frame of mind, not necessarily in the happiest frame of mind, but accomplished some things. But I hate depression. I hate it so much, and I have a lot of tools to help me through it. And but I hate it so much. It's you can have pain. I can handle pain. Give me pain. It's fine. You can have fatigue, depression. It's just it's lack of hope. And when you don't have hope, that's just hard. And so I spend a lot of time praying, and that helps hugely. But my nose. I don't have tissues here. I need to keep tissues here, and then you'd get to see me blow my nose. But yeah, depression is just awful, and I have my bouts of it often. And a lot of it just depends on how we're doing financially, or stress, or just weird things. When there's just too much going on, there's too many things overwhelming us. I mean, like right now we've got AC in my truck is broken. The pool liner is still not fixed. The hot tub is broken. The dryer broke. Is that it? Is that it? I mean, there's no money to fix any of those things. So you just gotta wait. You just gotta wait and see. Hopefully God provides, and there's taxes due and tax work to be done, and you just when you hear all this stuff about the Trump impeachment and stuff, and then President Trump gets on and he says, the world is doing great, and I'm like, no. No, it's not. When your child can't afford to buy a home, and he has a full-time very good job, that's not a good sign. They should be able to survive well, But and and some of my kids, they deal with depression too. And um, as a mom, knowing how bad it is to have depression, um, I don't like that. I don't like that. I have friends who are going through divorce and stuff like that, and they have children, and my heart goes out to the children because I know that's going to be hard. The long term stuff with that, just it's hard, and it's going to change their life, and I hate that. Um, and I've probably had depression my entire life since I was a child. I've had autoimmune stuff. Uh, Turns out all my life since I was a child. So uh, yeah. So I mean, it's just kind of like, what do you do with it? You do the best you can each day. You work on something. You just go. You have to push yourself. It sucks. It's so hard to do. I mean, there's so many people who I've talked to is like, well, I'm glad I have a job because it makes me get up and go do this or that. And I'm like, wow, that's depression right there. That's depression at work. When you get to the point where you're like, well, if I didn't have a job, I would probably lay in bed all day. I would. A lot of people say things that they will say, oh, you're lucky you're a stay-at-home mom and stuff like that. And I think being a stay-at-home mom is hard. It was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, because when when you're a stay-at-home mom, you don't get a break from kids. And I had twins when I was, oh goodness, how old was I? 23. And twins and a 2-year-old, twins and a 3-year-old. And I cried a lot, and Bruce had a lot of hours, and I've said this a lot of times, and it's being a stay-at-home mom is hard. So if you're a stay-at-home mom, I get you. And anybody who talks about, unless you're one of those bonbon ones. I mean, like, if you don't take care of your kids and you're sitting around watching soap operas and eating bonbons all day like they think we do, but that's not what we do. I mean, they have to eat. Their clothes has to be clean. They have to be actually well adjusted. You have to actually discipline them, take them to the park, take them to school, do the homework, blah, 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 blah. There's so much to it. And being a mom is a really tough job. And I'm very proud of the fact that I raised 4 beautiful boys. And they all have their issues. They all have, none of them is perfect. They all have life, and life kicks them in the butt just like it does everybody else. But I'm very proud of them. They're all different. They all have their strengths. They all have their weaknesses. It's life. And but I feel bad for anyone who has depression and anxiety and all of those things that kind of seem to go together for some reason. But a lot of times, if you've got a friend to talk to, or if you can make yourself get dressed and go out to eat with your cousin, or if you can do something that you enjoy, or clean up one room, or just make yourself go, or maybe just take a walk, just go outside. I know that if I go outside, it really helps. If I go outside and I can just walk to get the mail down our little gravel road to get the mail and come back and already feel better. And so, so if you have depression, which I do, and anxiety, which I do, and you're going through any of that sort of stuff, know that you're not on your own. There's a lot of us out there. And I have had people that I know who who it's been too hard and they took their life. And the devastation to the families is just ridiculous. Like, just crazy hard. And I just would never, ever. I can't. That's. I'm very fortunate that has never been on my radar. I've never ever even considered that. And the people that it would hurt, that's you do the best you can. You work as hard as you can. You just work at it. You just keep going. You read, you learn, you teach yourself, you get into something you love, you take your medication, you change your diet, you do whatever you can do. You do it. You just work at it every day, every single freaking day. And if you have a good day, you go, yeah, like I do. And then if you have a bad day, you go, well, maybe tomorrow will be better, And sometimes you just got to crawl in bed and watch Vampire Diaries. And that's okay. If nothing is nothing's going to burn down, the house isn't going to fall apart, the dishes are going to be there for you in the morning or whatever, and you're just having a shitty day. My grandmother loved that word. Go crawl in bed and binge watch a TV show. That's okay, because it's a whole lot better than sitting and crying and doing something that's going to devastate your family. So don't, just go watch TV, go listen to a book or something, go read your Bible or whatever makes you feel better, or go to sleep, go nap, go, just whatever. You do the best you can with what you got. And if you have a day and you go, well, that was a sucky day, then you go, okay, well, today was a sucky day, tomorrow might be better. That's what you do. And you keep going. And you know that there are a lot of other people who are going through the same thing, the same shitty day. And you just say, that was a shitty day. And you tell your spouse and you talk it over. And counseling is amazing if you get a good counselor. I had a Christian counselor from Oakwood. And, a lot of times our depression is just being too in tuned to people and taking on all their crap in our backpack. That is one thing that she told me. You have a backpack and it's full of rocks, and each one of those rocks represents somebody else's crap that you're taking on. And if you just took their crap out of your backpack, you probably would have a whole lot less to think about. And so dump your backpack. Just take, oh, my mother is guilting me to come over to the house every single day. Well, take that rock out of your backpack and throw it on the ground. If she's guilting you, she doesn't love you well enough to. That's, don't guilt your children. If it's cruel, get your own life. I'm sorry. Get your own life. If you're, if you're an older person who needs help, through your children, guilting them is not going to make them help you in a way that's loving. Guilting them is going to make them resent you and help you, but resent you. And just keep telling them how much you love them. Don't do the guilt trip. If you've got kids, and this was one of the big things, if you've got kids and your children are going to have lunch together, and you go, well, why did you go to lunch together without me? Don't do that. Don't do that. Let your children, look, you have kids, and you're an adult, and you're a parent, so your kids need to vent. Your kids need to get together, all of them. They need to get together, sit around at a table, eating or having their beer, whatever they want to do, and complain about you and tell each other, each and every one of them tell each other what's so annoying that mom does, what's so annoying that dad does, what's so annoying that mom does to dad, all of that stuff. They need to be able to do that. That's healthy. That's good. That's good for them. And I've told my kids that, look, as long as I don't hear about it, go. I don't care. Complain about me. Talk about me. I don't care. As long as you know I love you, I'm good. And I want my children to be close. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to destroy that. And in my family, that was destroyed. That was always kept divided. My mom worked very hard. I don't think it was so much intentional. I don't know that she realized that she was doing it so much, but and maybe she did realize it. I don't know. But my siblings and I are not close because my mom made sure we weren't close. She made sure to tell me what this one said about me and, played us all against each other. Don't do that to your children. Your children, when you are gone, need each other. And I am fortunate that I have beautiful cousins who love me, and they are my sisters. Literally, they are my sisters. Even though they're not my sisters, they're my sisters. They are sisters of my heart. They're kind to me. They love me unconditionally. They're not mean. They're not vindictive. They don't, they love me, flaws and all. And they're kind with me, and I'm soft-hearted, and not, soft-hearted people, I'm sorry, soft-hearted people are sensitive. It's just how we are built. So if you're going to be nasty, go away. Just go away and leave the soft-hearted people alone. And, go do that with someone who has more strength. But don't play your kids against each other. Let your kids bond. Let your kids love each other. Let your kids have that. That's a gift. Let your kids be close. That's a gift. Give that gift to your kids. Don't guilt them. Don't make them bring you with them. Don't get jealous when they hang out together. Don't do that. And, guys of wives who have sisters, don't do that. Don't get mad because your wife wants to go hang out with her sister or her cousin or something. Don't. I'm so blessed. My husband encourages me to hang out with my cousin Candy, and her husband encourages her to hang out with me. And so we are very blessed that we have two husbands who encourage it. And not only that, they're like, how'd it go? And we're like, it went great. And I'm not telling you anything. So you're talking about jail the whole time. No, we don't. But, it's give that gift of freedom to your family, because you could be causing some of the depression by putting a rock in your child's backpack. Take it out. Don't weigh them down. There needs to not be anything in this backpack back here. It needs to be clear and free, and you need to be able to live each day for the day. Not think about tomorrow, not think about yesterday, but actually be present in the day and enjoy the special blessings that God brings you each and every day. And that's the only way to beat depression. It's the only way to fight it every day. Every day. And I wished I had a magic pill or a magic thing I could tell you that just snaps it away in a heartbeat, but it doesn't. And there are some people who have never been depressed in their life, and they don't understand it, and they say, just be happy. You have a choice. Just be happy. No, that's not true. It's not true. You can say it, If you're a happy person and you choose to be happy and all of that works for you, then that's great and that's awesome. And I'm so happy for you. But don't tell someone else that, because there are people who chemically in their brain have things that are not diseases that are causing serotonin levels to be low, that cause it. And there isn't anything you can do about it. And you have to push through and take your medicine and whatever, and you have to push through. And people who do that, people who say, oh, be happy, it's a choice. No, it's not always a choice. It's not. And it pisses us off when you say it, because you don't understand. And if you did, you'd punch yourself in the face, because that's just not how it works. You can work on it through the day and figure out tools to help you be happy. Not going to happen every day. You can find a good system, but you're going to still have some of those days. And when you have them, just blow them off. Just accept them. Just say, yep, I have a shitty day, so I'm going to work on trying to make it happy, and if it doesn't work, then I'll just go watch Vampire Diaries or whatever your show is you want to watch, something makes you laugh or whatever. And do the best you can is all you can do. You do the best you can, and you try to be, I've found that it does help to get up and put makeup on and get dressed, not always for you, but for the people that you're around, for your kids. So your kids think, oh, mom's good today. Or your husband says, you look nice today. It makes them feel better. And if it makes them feel better, that's a gift that you can give them. And so if you can, if you're willing, get up, get dressed, look pretty. If you're willing, you don't have to. And give them that gift of fake it till you make it thing. You just, we do the best that we can. And everybody has a different story. And everybody has a different challenge. Some have it worse than others. Some don't understand. And we give them that. We say, okay, yeah, whatever. We give them that. And you do the best you can every single day. And you hope and pray for your children. A lot of it is, they can go through it too. And so you pray for everybody. And you just, maybe dance in the kitchen. Just don't play that stupid shark song. I hate that stupid shark song. Just play something cool. I don't know, something fun, and dance in your kitchen. Learn some sort of little dance line dance that you can do by yourself or something in the kitchen. And if somebody comes by and thinks you're crazy, just wave at them. So, anyway, I need to blow my nose. Greta's sleeping on my lap. Poor baby. But yeah, I need to blow my nose in. You guys have an awesome day, and I hope that the sun is shining today. So go outside just for a little bit. If you live in New Braunfels, the sun is shining. Go outside, take a deep breath, smell the roses. There aren't any roses, but just take a deep breath and then sneeze from the cedar. We do have our Texas 46 radio morning show tomorrow morning from 9 o'clock to 12. So that's texas46radio.com. And so hopefully that'll be a fun show. Bruce is going to do chicken of the week. I got to give him more information on the chickens, though, because he just kind of sits there and goes, yep, sheep, aren't you cute? And I'm like, give us some information. Anyway, so y'all have an awesome day, and hopefully we'll hear from you tomorrow morning. And That's all I got. So, bye.